Okay, guys, sorry for this weird format because obviously YouTube has just updated and I didn't know about that. So when I started the live stream, it just started doing weird stuff, and I cannot turn the camera like that because then it shows me some whatever. So I'll do it this way this time, and hopefully it will look well. If not, then next time better luck, hopefully. Okay, so I made another video, a long one, called The Biggest Lie in Czech Immigration, which was describing in details how it is with the approval times. So I will share the link to the video somewhere in the description of the video. So just when I finish the live stream, go to the description and I will share it there if you want to watch it in details. But today I want to give you just a brief idea because now we get this question a lot, especially from students, hey, my school is starting soon and I don't have the visa yet, so what should I do? So I'll just touch this topic so you understand, but if you want to go deeper into the topic, find the video Biggest Lie in Czech Immigration and you will find out more. So generally, the approval time depends on a couple things. The main thing is what the law says, what the Immigration Act says. And in most cases, for most visas, the approval time is 60 to 90 days. For some, it can be shorter. Like for students, that should be only 60 days. And for some types of visas, it can be even longer. So for example, for a business visa, the official approval time is 90 to 120 days. So in your planning, if you're preparing for the visa application, you should count with the longest possible period of time given by the law. So if the official timeline is 90 to 120 days, always count with 120 as the minimum. Of course, if it comes sooner, great, it can happen. We've had visas approved in 10 days or 2 weeks, for example. But the ministry, if they want to take the longest possible period, they can. Because the only, the 60 to 90 or 90 to 120, the two, is officially in complicated cases. But what it means is that the ministry can basically qualify everything as a complicated case because they didn't have enough coffee in the office. That was a complicated case, and that's why it took so long. So to stay on the safe side, if you want to get a visa, let's say the business visa, apply for it at least 4 months before your planned arrival, because the maximum approval time is 4 months, 120 days, so stick to that. And the same goes for all the other types of visas and residence permits. If you are already in the process, if you submitted the application, I understand it's a very challenging time emotionally because you are expecting the decision, your school starts, or you want to join your family, or your job is about to start. So it can be very stressful, but unfortunately there is not much you can do than just wait. I made another video, I will share the link somewhere, either somewhere here or then in the description of the video, about what you can do if your application has been taken too long. But generally, you cannot really do anything because the ministry by the law has 60 to 90 days or 90 to 120 days. And until they reach the deadline, you can just wait. So even though it might be very stressful and very emotional period of time, especially if some deadline is coming, you cannot really do anything. And one thing for you to understand is that even if you apply at embassy, that the embassies generally don't make decisions. So if you submit your application on the 1st of September, for example, at a Czech embassy in New Delhi or in New York or in Dresden or wherever, then it doesn't mean that the same day they will start making the decision. What needs to happen is that they physically take your documents, send them physically to the Czech Republic via post or DHL or some other service, and then only once the documents are in the Czech Republic, they go to the Ministry of the Interior, and then they are distributed to the particular office where the decision will be made, and then the particular visa application is given to some decision maker. So there is quite a long process, and often if you apply at the Czech embassy, before someone starts even checking your application, it can take a couple of weeks. It can be like 3-4 weeks before someone even starts checking your documents after you applied at the embassy. So if you basically there is no reason for you to ask, hey, I applied 30 days ago. Hey, I applied 45 days ago. What's happening with my visa? Because probably nothing is happening with your visa. As mentioned, we had cases where our clients were approved in 10 days or 2 weeks, but that's also kind of circumstantial, let's say, because it was during a low season. It was a safe nationality. Those I remember were Americans or Australians, for example, and those are safe nationalities which are generally approved faster than Indians or like other Asian countries or African countries. Plus they applied in Europe in the Schengen area. So for example, from Dresden, if they need to physically ship the documents to the Czech Republic, it might take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, something like that, tops a week. But if they have to ship physical documents from New Delhi or from Australia or from somewhere else, it will definitely take longer than 2 weeks just to deliver the documents to the Czech Republic. So you cannot expect a decision within 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks, the documents will not be even in the Czech Republic. So no one will be checking them. And the third thing is also the season, because the relocation comes in seasons. We don't get as many clients every month. For example, now it's the highest season for us. So in immigration and relocation, August, September, October, that's the highest season. The most amount of people apply for their visas. So kind of logically, that also means that it will delay your visa decision, because if they have 100 applications every week they have to deal with, the decision will definitely be made faster than if they have like 700 applications they need to deal with every week. Okay, so now is the highest season, so the decisions will generally take longer, more likely than shorter. But on the other hand, if you apply in the beginning of the year, say February, March, or like April, May, until June-ish maybe, then that's a lower season, which means that the decision will come faster. But from this perspective of having the visa approved soon, July till October, November is the worst time. So if you submitted the application now, you cannot really expect your application to be approved soon. The question we also often get is something around these lines like, me and my friends applied at the same day and they have been already decided and my application is still in process. What's going on? What's wrong with my application? And the question again is, nothing has to be wrong with your application. It can, of course, there might be some problem. That's why the ministry is taking so long, and then there may be just preparing the rejection letter for you. So something can be wrong with your application. On the other hand, it's not like 100% cases like that. The thing is that every visa application or every residence permit application is decided by someone else or can be decided by someone else. And one person might be really fast and really efficient with their decisions, and the other person might not, and they might be just lazy, or they get sick and no one is checking their applications at all. So it depends. It doesn't mean that if you apply with someone at the same date that you will get the result at the same date as well. There can be like a very big difference in the approval times for different applications and different people. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your application was worse or better or something than the other person's. It just means, or can mean, that there are different people making the decision. Sometimes different visas are even decided at different places, some in Ostrava, some in Brno, some in Prague, depending on the type of visa you applied for. So you cannot really compare it like this. The only thing which is certain is that the ministry does not really care about the official deadlines. So if they have 60 days to make the decision by the law, they don't care. It can take them 4 months, and you cannot really do anything. You can, once they exceed the official deadline. I've made another video about that, so I will share the link below. But anyway, the only thing generally you can do is send them a letter saying, okay, it's been taking too long, please make the decision soon. But then they have 30 days to reply to that, and their reply anyway doesn't have to be the decision. the reply can be, okay, we will make the decision within 60 days or something. So it like doesn't really like help, but it's at least something you can do. But that can only happen after they have reached and exceeded the legal deadline. So I guess that's officially what I wanted to say. There is one question, so I will read that. I don't really do that because I usually like do the opposite camera. This is the front camera, so I usually don't see the questions, but I see it now, so I'll answer it. Fug Blaze Fug. Hello Jan, I have this question, wish to ask about the visa processing time. If you deposit for a highly qualified worker category, how long will it take for your file to be processed? Yeah, this is actually pretty good. It should not take longer than 60 days. And I would say for the programs, they kind of stick to it. Because if you go through the programs, it goes completely different way. So first, you don't have to get an appointment through the embassy yourself. Your employer gets it for you. And they should also get processed faster, these applications, because they have like special designated branches where they made the decisions. So this should actually be, I would say maybe 45 days is something to expect. But again, you never know. With the ministry, they can just take as much time as they want and they don't care. So guys, thank you very much for watching. It was 16 people at a time, so that was amazing. Now still 10, so thank you very much. If you don't follow, don't subscribe, please do so now. Check my other videos as well. I've done over 350, I believe, so I've covered probably all the different topics there are in Czech immigration. And see you again next time. Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, until the end of the world. Bye-bye.